Hey, we're going to give you a big relax. Was a learning experience for me. Well, so beginning of 2024, obviously Chanel coming into the world, me being a father again, like not like so much as a father again, but like starting the whole process all over again with a fresh baby, and like being able to actually be there 24/7, because I didn't have that before. Like my son LJ, for his first year, I had a 24/7, but like then his mother took it, you know? So like, I didn't really get to like do the things that I got to do with Chevelle with all of my kids. Like Braylon I got to do a lot with, but unfortunately in her time period I had went to prison. So Chevelle was like the first child of my 4 biological that like I really got to raise wholeheartedly and by myself. Like my wife obviously is involved, but like I got to do the majority of raising this child, so it's a learning experience. And then with Braylon, with her cancer and the whole process of doing that, and her still fighting to this day, and she goes for surgery at the end of January, like it's just been difficult to juggle life. Finding a job, like I spent the whole year trying to find a job, countless interviews and applications that I did on like Indeed and all these job sites, and like nothing, man. You know, all these, I call them fake jobs. They're companies that say they're hiring, they really aren't. You know what I mean? I call them fake jobs. It's just to make it look like the business is moving, you know? Oh yeah, so that too, running a notice was real hard to juggle. So like, I know I talk a lot, like I run it all myself, but I have had a lot of help along the way. I just so happen to handle a lot of the major aspects of the company, which is why it feels sometimes that I do a lot of it on my own. But without the people that I have with me support me, I wouldn't be able to do it. But it's definitely a struggle, like signing contracts, booking venues, and finding charities that are willing to let you support them. Hey baby, we almost there. Sorry, she lost her binky today, man, and she's just not having a great day. But yeah, juggling a notice is real difficult, especially because I have my own build. So like, trying to build a brand and myself with my car is very difficult. Because like, I have my own socials and my own following just for me and my actor. So like, it is difficult to juggle bringing up the brand and being in charge of like the social media presence and everything with the brand as I'm trying to build myself, because I have to do like double the content. So like, some of these snippets I'll film here, I'll use for Unnoticed as well, you know what I mean? So like, it's kind of hard, but again, those are the aspects of the business that I control. Like, I do the media, I do the bookings, I do a lot of the paperwork. Like, Rob's mostly the muscle, and then my wife is silent funder. She funds a lot of the stuff. So like, that's just kind of my position. So like, it comes with the territory, I guess. Yeah, the big move to Bloomsburg. So that happened because I had not really a falling out. I can't call it a falling out because I do love my father-in-law and like we still talk. But me and him had an incident where we felt as though, you know, like it was our time to separate, and I felt as though it was my time to leave that household. So we moved to Bloomsburg. We've been there about 3 months now, and like it really hasn't been that bad, minus like my car getting hit, but it hasn't really been bad. Neighbors aren't too bad. It is by a college, so it does get a little loud, but I'm usually up at that time of night anyway, so it don't really bother me. But I also like the move to Bloomsburg because the season's starting soon, so hopefully if I get my car back, the big plan with that was to expand out there. Once I get the car back, is to like boost our our presence in Bloomsburg, because there's a lot of great venues out there. There's actually a few restaurants that are like car themed. And then I have been speaking to the owners of the old Bloomsburg Mall about getting cars inside of it. So if that goes well, you know, hopefully we'll be able to do that. Ooh, she's so happy, bro. Sorry, this car, man. So, little story about this car. I had the car before my wife. It was turboed at one point, and it ended up having burnt valve seals, and we hit a deer, so turbo came off, some of the parts came off. We started to rebuild it, and then she hit another deer, and like we've been rebuilding it since. She's just kind of a runner. Like, she just does what we need her to do. She gets us from point A to point B safely and securely. She runs, you know what I mean? So she hasn't really been like super loved, but this year me and my wife really plan to dump a lot of money into this car this year and get her back in a position where she can come back out to shows, because the chassis is rust free. The car came from Florida and the whole chassis is rust free, so like I don't foresee it ever getting any significant rust because of how much the car is in and out of the garage and being repaired. And even if it does, me and Rob do rust repair. So like I don't really give two shits. I'll fix it. Like the TL, unfortunately I drove it in the winter when I first got it. And it didn't get rust, but it had like surface rust, like it was starting, you know? So I treated it, sanded it all down. We did the undercoating. It's had 2 undercoatings since. And that thing will never rust. Like, I'll have that car forever, which is the plan. Speaking about that, that is the plan. So the plan is to keep the TL forever. Regardless whether it stays a build or it ends up being a daily again one day like this did. I don't know. We just plan to keep it. Like this we own outright, so we're never getting rid of it until like it starts costing more money to keep it on the road than what it's worth, or if we decide to start building it again. But the TL will be the same situation. We intend on keeping it. So it is going to get either air ride or new coils this year. I'm currently on Tiens, and I like my coils, but I want to go lower. So I'm thinking about switching to some BCs, and when I get the BCs, I want to do the Swift Spring upgrade. So I'm definitely thinking about going a little more lower static. I haven't really gone through the pricing yet of everything, so we're going to work on that, and then that's like the main focus for this year.